Folks, you're with Tacitus today. Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this audio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about levels of customer service. Now, this could be at a retail level or even sort of distributor, like a spare part automation, automating various systems such as inventory control, stock resupply and delivery, and this capacity or facility for the staff or even customers to log in to see if the customer's got something in stock. So if I want to buy something from a retail store, there are some stores that let you log in, if you like, to their stock machine, which is supposed to update the second somebody buys something, because like it's all barcoded now. So if they say they've got 10 on the shelf and the customer buys one, then there'll be 9 on the shelf, and that they're supposed to update in real time. So you can do this. You can check to see if it's there before you jump in your car to go and buy it. Now, that's the sort of how it's supposed to work. The reality is actually quite different. You can get there and find that the item isn't in stock and hasn't been for weeks, or somebody says no, it's up. And you say, well, I checked on that, and then they said there were 10 in stock. No, you don't take any notice of that. That never works. We never rely on that. But now, given the millions that they've spent on automating, you'd think that it would work, or at least would work most of the time. But even the employees just no, it doesn't work, and don't rely on that. Now, the same goes for things like online ordering. So you're ordering it online to have it delivered. So you can place the order and you get through to the check. It's a bit clunky, so it takes a bit of time, but you get through to the electronic checkout there, and then it as it tallies up the final thing after you've given your credit card, after you've done, it then says, oh no, those items aren't available. Well, why the fuck couldn't they say they weren't available in the first place, rather than have to go through an elaborate, again, quite a clunky ordering process? So I don't know that service levels have improved in certain ways. And I would say they've gone backwards there. There were times when you could call up the store and somebody would physically go and look and say, yep, there are 10 items in stock and I've just eyeballed them, and you go and buy them. So that worked quite well, I guess. But now you wouldn't get a staff meeting because there's so much fewer staff than there used to be. And the ones that are there that really don't give a shit. And so you're relying on the software, which doesn't work, which the staff and people have no confidence in anyway. So you can waste a lot of time. You turn up to the store and it's not there. Now, the same can go for things like, engineering spare parts for engineering stuff and machinery. So you go online and it says that store carries that stock. So you arrive and they say, no, we haven't got any, but we can get it for you in 2 days' time. Well, it's no fucking use. I need it now. So you then train yourself to call in advance. So you then go through to a call center. The call center then redirects it in advance. So you then go through to a call center. The call center then redirects it to the nearest store. Now, I know what the nearest is. I don't have to go through a call center, but that's the way they want to do it. So there's another layer in there that provides no benefit in service to me as a customer, at least. Maybe it does others that don't know where their nearest store is or anything like that. Now, they've got no capacity at the call center to tell you if an item's in stock or not. So really the call center people can't do anything. They're just call redirectors. So you get to the store and they employ a lot of low-cost labor in these stores, and the lowest cost labor answering the phone. And they can't deal with anything other than the simplest thing, such as is John there or is Jane there or is Billy Bob. They can deal with it. As soon as you ask something that's got even low-level technical sort of understanding required, they can't handle it. You then have to wait for someone to come along. They then say they're going to do something. They'll check or they'll find out. They say, yep, we've got it. So you jump in the car and arrive, and no, they don't have it. Oh, I thought you meant it was the left-hand screwdriver, not the right. Oh, that's what I thought you meant. And you think back to what you said. No, I was explicit enough that they should have. But again, you're dealing with low-cost labor, and people that don't really know what they're doing. So again, that's to me, that's a step back in service. Now, say items that are on special or something like that. You know, you go into the grocery stores, the supermarkets, to get something, and you go, okay, well, I'll get this, this, and this. And some of these items may be sort of pretty pricey normally, 60, $70 or something, but it's on special for $35. You go, oh, I'll get that. And you turn up and there's none there. Oh, when will it be in? Don't know. Or you get an attitude, well, do you want me to look? And yes, I want you to fucking look. I don't use the F word, but and then they'll just wander back out. Oh, I couldn't see it. Talk about not giving a shit, but and they're trained badly, if at all, and they're paid shit money. So I do understand that. Why should they care? The days when you get the eager school kids seem to be long gone. So the item's not in stock. Now they've got something like equivalent of sort of a rain check type thing. So you say, well, the item's a featured advertised item. It's not in stock. So you can then get a voucher that says you can buy that item at the special price for 30 days after the event. After the ticket has a 30-day validity. So, but they've got another policy here. So you say, well, look, there's none in stock. And well, you have to prove that it's in the catalogue. So you have to bring the catalogue with you at the page and point to it. That you can't expect them to do it. So they'll do it. And then so, well, our policy is that we have to call the person in charge of that section of that area or whatever, and they have to verify that it's not in stock. Doesn't matter if you're taking a photograph of the thing on the shelf or anything. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that you say, look, they've already gone outside and checked in this, the storeroom, and that doesn't matter. Our policy is. So you have to wait, and you'll have to wait because Billy Bob's at lunch, or Billy Bob's away, or the person that looks after is off sick today, or they're not here today, so we can't verify it. So too bad, this sort of thing. So I don't see customer service has improved at all. Now, if it is better, it's better in other ways that don't directly benefit the customer, such as the overall cost reduction of running that business. Now, this goes back to the days, not that long ago, actually. I remember the days quite well when the big financial firms started buying up all the companies, and big venture capital firms started buying businesses and breaking them up into pieces and selling them. Those days. And I remember that quite well. And the talk from the big financial end of town was, focus on your core business. Anything else is bullshit. Focus on your core business, and then relegate in importance the areas of the business that don't directly bring revenue in the door. So customer service doesn't directly bring revenue in the door. There'll be an indirect relationship with revenue, sure, but doesn't directly bring revenue in the door. And transfer as much of the burden of the service onto the customer themselves. I mean, make it hard for the customer to want the service, and then they won't bother you, so you don't have to pay for people to deliver the service, given you've made it so hard for the customer to get it. And so there were various strategies that were employed to try and trim down the indirect services and support services, and thus the costs of the business, and to focus on the primary business. And if your primary business is selling soda or selling bread or milk or something like that, you just focus on that and don't worry about anything else. And if people come in wanting to know, well, where's this, or how do you do that, or can I get, that's something we're not interested in. If you're not coming in to buy the milk and give us the money, you can fuck off. So there was a different attitude to what customer service meant and what it represented, and how it should be delivered and at what cost. So then a lot of jobs were being sent offshore to like Indian call centers. And even today, like $5,000 in many parts of India is a good annual salary. You can do okay on that. Same as in Thailand and places like that, Philippines. So to employ someone in Australia to deliver that service, you've got to pay 7-8 times that amount. Now you may get a better service, somebody that speaks better English. You may get all those things, but it comes at a much greater cost. And when the accountants sit down and say, well, how much money do we make out of this? Not a whole lot. So they compensate then by putting lower cost labor to the point where in some places I've gone into, even in engineering parts and stuff like that, all bar one of the employees there is mentally retarded because the government pays a subsidy for those people and so on and so forth. So that's kind of how bad it's got there. But the idea of customer service is really a secondary thing now, and the idea that automation has compensated for that by supplying fuller shelves, delivering more reliably, these sorts of things, I don't accept that at all. I think it's been a retrograde step, and I think that retrograde step will go further with AI. And I've noticed this with escalation of complaints. So if you've got a legitimate complaint, you have to go through a series of internet, like you've got to fill forms out online. Then you get a number that comes back and says, well, here's your number. And if you want to escalate again, you've got to fill out another online form and then another one. And by the time you get to the fourth level of complaint, that's when a person will come in and that's when you'll have to talk to somebody. That fourth level may be someone who's offshore. And then they may escalate it again to an English-speaking white person who, and typically at that point, the white person, listening to your problem, okay, all right, we'll do this, bang, problem solved. Now that could have been done first off, but it's gone through a laborious, time-consuming bullshit process before it gets to someone who can make a decision. And usually they're of an intellectual caliber where they can understand the problem and make the decision all in a single pass, which can make a difference. I don't know what your experience is with these sorts of levels of or non-levels of service, or levels of non-service, call it what you will. But I think AI will take it to the next level or another level where it may be 10 steps before a person intervenes, or you can reach a person to get a decision. And I don't know how much the AI will have, if you like, an escalation and an enforcement sort of angle to it. So say you've got some sort of misdemeanor thing, but in the law of the state line that you cross into, if you have that misdemeanor thing, that means you're now a felon. But an AI machine, an AI sort of system intercepts that and automatically escalates it to producing a warrant. So then a sheriff gets a warrant, arrest Billy Bob Smith for considered a dangerous felon. Next thing you know, you're getting guns poked in your face, all because an AI system has escalated and had enforcement power to issue the warrants for arrest. And then the first human that the AI interacts with is a low IQ sort of flunky, just a grunt, and they can't sort of make a determination as to the validity, or they can't look at it and go, well, that sounds a bit odd. I don't like a look at this. I'll verify it. They won't. They'll just act on it. And before you know it, people will be chasing with guns. Anyway, I'd be interested to see your thoughts below. You've been with Tacitus today in your Pushback channel. Thank you for listening.